As you know, our practice is to have people in our community to share a personal prayer at our services, and I'm pleased and honored to invite Jordan to give our personal prayer for today.
Thank you. 5 weeks ago, at an outdoor cafe in Salt Lake City, my wife and kids met my mother's sister, Susan, for the first time. The conversation was superficial until Yvonne asked Susan to share with the kids something about my mother, Grandma Sharon, whom they had never met. Through her tears, my Aunt Susan shared about my mother's passion for adventure and her incredible sense of style. When I was growing up, there was plenty of joy and plenty of fun, but there was also a great deal of struggle and pain. My mother had left her family and community and had moved across the country to marry my father. She had cancer when I was young. My parents divorced, and when I was a teen, my mother was diagnosed with cancer again. Perhaps not surprising, she battled addiction from the time I was little, and not always behind closed doors. My mother died when I was 20, before she was 50, which is younger than I am now. My relationship with my aunt has been very complicated. She harbored a great deal of resentment, some or much toward me for not doing enough to help my mother. She was made the executor of my mother's will, which only exacerbated our difficulties. The low point was when the locks on my childhood house were changed, preventing me from getting what I needed as I was returning to college for my junior year. I remember intense feelings of blame, of resentment, and much anger. The word metzar, or distress, comes from the word sar, or narrow, which is the same root for the word Mitzrayim, or Egypt. We called God from our narrow place, from the place of slavery, and God responds to us from a place of openness. Over these past 18 months, we have all lived through a narrowing. Our worlds, our interactions, lifespans, a sense of hope. There have been moments of relief and reconnection and even beauty. And for many, there remains both fear and narrowness. And so how do we emerge from a place of narrowness? With some humility, let me offer 3 ways. As Sharon Salzberg suggests, we can find meaning among rupture. For me, this means being around the people I need to be around. I've savored the abundant and unexpected time with my beautiful family, even if it has been way too much for them, and have done things like sip whiskey by an outdoor fire in the snow with a pod of close friends, which we probably wouldn't have done years prior. Second, we can choose to act with kindness. In my wedding vows, I quoted Robert Kennedy and committed to make gentle the life of this world. There are so many opportunities to do this. Checking in on friends, delivering meals, making sure our friends that are first responders have an outlet, welcoming those to our community like from Afghanistan, joining Shiva by Zoom. And third, we can emerge from narrowness when we make space for reflection. For years, I disregarded any communication from my aunt. Little by little, decades after my mother passed away, I slowly responded to her outreach. With reflection, I knew she was aging and that my family represents the only familial connection to her sister. And so on the day we were to leave Utah, I reached out. Our time together, it was fine. My kids were really good sports. They probably felt a bit awkward. But with limited time in this world, we must choose openness. So may it be your will that we get through pain. Recognize that we have choices available to us and find strength in one another. May we love, make gentle, spend time with the special people in our lives, and forgive so that we can find peace. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Shukach. Thank you.